Happy Monday, everybody. Allincrypto here, and today we are going to be delivering another daily cryptocurrency market update. I do apologize for not releasing an update yesterday, doing a little bit of refurbishing on the house. So I was very busy doing that, lots of painting and other things that, for somebody like me who spends so much time at the computer, can actually be somewhat enjoyable and rewarding. Some good, hard, honest work. So we are back today. We have, of course, a jam-packed daily market update lined up for you. And we'll take a look at the charts. And then I want to move on to some news relating to Coinbase, which is obviously a company that is under attack by the SEC, who are accusing them of all manners of things that have, of course, repercussions for the entire industry. One of the things that the SEC accused Coinbase of doing was selling and facilitating the sales of, being a broker for, securities. And they named a number of cryptocurrencies that they thought violated these rules that they have in place. Now we've seen a lot of support actually coming out for Coinbase in the form of securities lawyers actually coming out and basically saying that the SEC is full of shit and they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. And we're going to look at a breakdown of that. We'll look at a little bit of Bitcoin price action. We'll be just stressing how big a news an ETF is, not just for Bitcoin, but for the entire industry. In my opinion, September is going to be likely for an ETF's approval. You're going to get multiple ETFs approved at once. It's why we said the ARK one that we got the results for as expected on Friday, which was in the form of a delay following a 21, or now allowing for a 21-day sort of reviewal period that they're open for people to comment on. So if you are in the United States, you can actually take part in that. It's likely 21 days away is going to coincide with all of these. It's going to be very interesting. And if you do get that ETF approval, this is all happening at a time when Bitcoin is consolidating around about 30K. You will see a momentum take 30K. And actually, we've speculated, and we've been long the market really since not just the crypto market, stock markets, even gold. We have speculated that actually the volume that you have here, remember, we've got an inverse head and shoulders target up into this price action. And we've also got a bear flag, a bull flag structure as well. So things are lining up. Back end of August, going into September, could be a very bullish time for the cryptocurrency space. Dropping down the time frames, we've done lots of analysis. We've stressed that this is going to result in a similar manner to this. This is very much, anybody that's familiar with Dow theory structure, now an uptrend. You can call it a bull. And this was a downtrend. If you can't spot the differences between these two trends, using very basic trend analysis, then I don't know what to tell you. And this is our kind of, I guess, distaste for the bullish, for the bearish argument has come from, because it seems quite obvious to me. And actually, I think a lot of the bears are just waiting for a crash that, could be 24 months out of the way of. We took that stance at the start of the year. We said all the data we're looking at suggests that the crash is a while away. You could be running into 2025, end of 2024, something along those lines. And what are you going to do in terms of an investment bag? And we are making money. Anybody that wants to check out my portfolio, what we're doing, please do feel free to join the Patreon. Got a very interesting discussion coming up. So let's start things off with the Coinbase news. And then, of course, we'll cover a number of other things. Like in the UK, we're seeing real headway. Talk a little bit about El Salvador, and then finish things off on the weekend. Let's talk about the Coinbase news. So this article reads, legal briefs supporting Coinbase flood in, pressuring the SEC. And this is a bit of a breakdown from them, from the Meta lawman. SEC versus Coinbase. Big update. 6 securities law scholars file a devastating amicus brief in support of Coinbase. Law professionals from Yale, University of Chicago, UCLA, Fordham, Boston University, and Widener file an amicus brief last night that absolutely shreds the SEC's investment contract theory. The amicus brief brilliantly traces the history of the meaning of investment contract before, during, and after passing of the Federal Securities Act in 1933. Here are the scholars' conclusions. By 1933, the state court had covered around a standard for interpreting the term investment contract to mean a contractual arrangement that entitles an investor to a contractual share of the seller's later income, profits, or assets. So when you buy a cryptocurrency, there is no contractual agreement that states you are going to profit from that cryptocurrency. You're not going to get necessarily a share of the profits. There's no contract that says that. Okay, yeah, you may get staking rewards. You may, if it's a DAO, get. And DAOs are in an interesting spot, I think, because I do think there are certain things in the crypto space that you could say qualify as investment contracts. However, if you look at many of the cryptocurrencies the SEC has labeled, they are utility tokens that play a fundamental role in the network, certainly in regards to proof of stake. And there is no contract at point of purchase that guarantees any of these. Very interesting. Remember, these have come from some of the top universities in the world all at once, bashing the SEC and in favor of Coinbase, which we are going to look at the chart in a second, have said actually Coinbase has given you a second chance of buying it and is now in a stage 2 breakout, which we'll talk about in just a second. After the Howey Test decision in 1946, the common thread for investment contract remains that an investor must be promised by virtue of his or her investment an ongoing contractual interest in the income, profits, and or assets of the enterprise. You don't get any contracts when you buy cryptos for any of these. When Coinbase sell you a cryptocurrency, you don't get any of that. The big thing for me with the SEC versus Coinbase is, why did the SEC allow Coinbase to go public if they were planning on doing this? And again, we have looked at the largest shareholders in BlackRock in Coinbase. It happens to be BlackRock, Valkyrie, Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, all of the largest institutions in the world that will be very clued up with these kind of laws as they deal in the security element. So something very fishy going on here, guys. You are going to get a full send bull market soon. We assess that you're already on the way to that. Altcoins are still in a stage 1, looking for that stage 2 breakout. You've got coins that we've been highlighting like HBAR, 15% today. Got another very small altcoin that nobody seems to know or talk about that's been doing very well. It's a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen. An ETF is going to kick a lot of things off. And actually, I don't think people understand just how big PayPal getting into the stablecoin space is. They're all going to do it. And we've looked at potential coins that might facilitate and help the likes of Apple and others do such things. Every investment contract identified by the Supreme Court involves a contractual undertaking to grant a serving stake in the enterprise. Bottom line, in my opinion, this AMCA's brief delivers the coup de grace to the SEC's argument that crypto tokens traded on secondary markets are investment contracts. Brilliant. And this is just what we want to see. Again, I think the SEC is just doing a power grab. Gary Gensler's doing a shocking job at regulating the industry through enforcement. And actually, it's not going to work in his favor, I don't think, as he's taking some major L's and likely going to continue to do so. We've been highlighting Ripple and XRP for a while now as potential winners in the coming market. You're going to have the Empire tokens and you're going to have the Rebellion tokens, which are the likes of Bitcoin and coins and cryptos that came about to sort of challenge the establishment. You're going to have coins that work with the establishment to transform it. And both, I think there's a place for and will do well. And again, you want to find out more about that, we're having a meeting this week on it in the Patreon. So this is brilliant news. An ETF is coming. We did speculate that you weren't going to get this ETF decision as a pass. It was likely going to happen when there was multiple of them. Coming up on the 1st of or start of September, you've got BlackRock, Bitwise, VanEck, WisdomTree, Invesco and Galaxy, Fidelity, Valkyrie. And then, of course, you'll have the 21 period up for the ARK 21 shares spot Bitcoin ETF. I've got a good feeling that this is going to get approved. This is all happening at a period where we're consolidating, coiling up, in my opinion, to take that upside, take that 30K level with momentum, and you're off. You're going to our next targets at your sort of 42, 43K range. Altcoins will benefit from that. In the UK, 13% of applications approved. British regulators disclosed crypto registration stats. Since January 2020, almost 300 crypto companies have applied for registration with the Financial Conduct Authority, 38 of which were approved. So it's a good sign that they're even approving these. On to a little bit of El Salvador news. This is from JP Morgan. Solid mix, revising GDP up and fiscal deficit down. Data have been generally upbeat over the past few months in El Salvador, showing disinflation, positive behavior of fiscal accounts, and more recently, increasing signs of accelerating in the economy. This week's May GDP approximately showed by 1.8. Wow, you've got UK was 0.2. Of course, it's a bigger economy. SA, setting the economy on track for a near 9% Q on Q, saw growth in Q2 after a solid 3.4 print in Q1. Wow, this is phenomenal growth. We are revising our growth forecast for the years to 3.9 year on year for just under 2.5. We don't see in the economy performing signs of single transitory factors driving growth, but rather signs of synchronized lift manufacturing. Finally, seems to be back on track. Construction is booming, and other domestic demands related indicators are doing well. He seems to be really cleaning up the country, and of course, he is doing that with the help of Bitcoin and the community behind him. And I think it was actually quite a good move. We were quite critical, actually, of his move to use Bitcoin, given its volatility. You can say what you want about the fiat currencies, and actually they all will incur a hell of a lot of volatility eventually, but perhaps some of them, like the dollar, aren't as volatile as Bitcoin. To wrap things up, guys, I want to just give you a heads up of what's to come in the week and what to look out for. Today, we've got nothing. Tuesday, we have Canadian CPI. We've got a number of sort of FX moving data. Wednesday, we've got UK CPI, and we've also got the FOMC minutes. So that's going to be very interesting, and there's going to be full guidance given as they review why they took the steps to do a 25 basis points previously. Then we've got Thursday, initial jobless claim, Japanese CPI. And yeah, on that note, I'm going to love and leave you. So we still expect a bloody good time in the markets. Hopefully you're all on the side, or whatever side you choose to be, bear or bull. It's really irrelevant to us. We care about people making money and seizing an amazing opportunity that is at hand. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you guys. If you've not already subscribed to the channel, it's well worth doing so. We bring out a lot of content, daily market updates every single day. A like and a comment is appreciated. I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you in the next.